Can you hear me okay? Type something in the chat box if you can hear me. Hey, Dark Knight. Yeah, I'm not able to see the video on the computer, so it's hard to tell if it was live or not. Thanks for being here. Is the audio pretty clear? Hello? Good, that's good. How is everybody? I'm using my iPhone to record the video and the computer to look at the chat, so we'll see how this goes. Everybody doing good? What title do I own that is my favorite, and how many copies do I have? That's hard because I have a lot of copies of a lot of good movies. I think the title that I own that I have the most of is probably The Dark Knight, or maybe one of the Avengers movies, just because there's so many different releases that they put out for them. Hey, Silvershine, and hey, Cartoon Fortress. Thanks for being here. So what we'll do is, yeah, if you want to just ask me questions, I don't really have anything planned. Just thought I'd test this out and see how it goes. Hey, Peter. So what we'll do is, if you want to ask me some questions in the chat, I'll try to answer those, and whatever kind of discussion topics you want to talk about. I don't really have anything planned, so we'll see how this goes. Thanks, Tektronix. It is a pretty big collection. Camera angle's not the best right now because of the phone. Try to keep my face in the picture. That's a good question, Dark Knight. So how many in the chat are Disney Movie Club members? I know that I am. I know that Cartoon Fortress is not. Hey, Logan. So I have gotten some recent pickups lately. I have been stuck at home, working from home since this virus thing. This is my second full week working at home. And so I have been purchasing a little bit more than usual, which is kind of hard to believe. But got some really good titles in from MVD. The Rewind collection, I actually got a new one in just before the chat started. This I ordered from I think I ordered this one from Amazon. So very glad to have this one. Okay, Peter. So how many of you have been doing a lot of purchasing? Are you working from home? Are you at school from home. I know my wife, she works for Walmart, so she has been having to go to work each day. Yeah, I should be getting The Rise of Skywalker in the mail on Tuesday, so I'll just do an unboxing. I did order the big Best Buy exclusive complete set of all the movies, and I ordered the Steelbook. So hopefully I'll be able to go and pick that up on Tuesday. I got mine from the Disney Movie Club already this earlier in the week. So I do have the 4K coming, and I got the Steelbook and the complete set. So Peter, how you liking working from home? Is it working out for you? So I work for the school system here in our near our county. I've been with them for 23 years. So I do tech help. So I'm just available online for just different things. So usually just changing passwords, helping people get connected. So I do have a big LDF fan. I do have a big VHS collection. I've got, I think, 8 totes full of VHSs. I've been collecting movies since the 80s. Since I think I got my first VCR back in 86 and started buying VHS tapes. So yeah, I've been collecting VHS tapes back in the day, then DVDs, and of course Blu-rays and 4Ks now. Laserdisc, it would have been nice to get Laserdisc, but I only knew one person from school that actually had Laserdisc, and we used to go over there and watch. Can't remember what it was we watched, but it was on Laserdisc. Maybe I'll think of it, but yeah, I think that Laserdiscs were pretty cool. Sorry for the awkward silence. I'm trying to read these comments. Yeah, I think that it is kind of getting frustrating not being able to go into the store and shop for the new releases, especially the Steelbooks. I do like to lay my hands on the Steelbooks that I pick up. So having a clerk from Best Buy bring it out to my truck, it's a little nerving, especially because I'm real particular about the condition that I receive my Steelbooks in. Thanks, Peter. So the movie posters, I have been getting those movie posters from Disney Movie Rewards. Back when they had a really good site, I would enter in my codes and get points. So every one of those posters that you see actually have 2 other posters behind it. And all of those I got for free from the Disney Movie Rewards. Unfortunately, their site changed and they're not as good as they used to be. I have had some suggestions from different viewers that I should not display the posters, that I should change them out to some good movies. But I like the way that these Marvel posters look. Now, I do have Disney posters also on another wall back on the other side. I used to have only Disney posters, and then they started doing the Marvel posters, and I started getting the Marvel posters. But I wouldn't mind having some nice posters like Back to the Future, E.T., Jurassic Park, some different varieties. I'm also thinking about removing the posters and building the wall up to where I can get some more Blu-rays out. So we'll see how that goes. So Cartoon Fortress, as far as I'm concerned, I think Disney Movie Club's going to stay in business. I think that they're going to continue putting out their new releases. I would really like to see the Disney Movie Club put out some more classic club exclusives. I do like getting some of the older movies. And as far as Disney Plus, I don't have Disney Plus. I really should get it. I have Netflix and I have Amazon Prime, and I hardly ever get on there to watch anything. I'm just always so busy. But Disney Plus would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing some of their original content. So as far as the R.A. Raffro Doctor, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. As far as the Best Buy Steelbooks, 1917, I did get my 1917 Steelbook on Tuesday and did the unboxing on the channel. And unfortunately, I did have some scratches on it. But from what I understand, I think a lot of people did. Now, I do have one other 1917 pre-ordered, ready for pickup at another location. I just haven't made it that far to go get it. So hopefully I'll get one that's not as in bad condition. So, but as far as the Steelbook's nice. I really like the way that it looks. I really enjoyed 1917. Really good movie. I got to see it in the theater, so that was nice to see. So I do use Silvershine. I do use Netflix. I really like some of the original shows that they have. I've been watching, so like I said, I haven't really been watching it much lately. I think the last show that I was watching was chapter 3 of Sabrina. Can't remember the whole title of the show, but Sabrina the Witch. Something, anyways, something Stories of Sabrina. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, Sabrina, I watched that. I know the Ozark season 3 started. I think that's on Netflix. And I hope to start binge watching that this weekend. So, Cartoon Fortress, Steelbooks, are less than Digibooks. I do like Digibooks. I really do wish that we'd had more Digibooks. If you'll bear with me for just a second, I actually have some Digibooks set aside. Sorry about that. So recently I've been trying to, I've got about, I want to say I got 50 Digibooks in the collection. I recently repurchased this one from eBay. I had sold this one a couple of years ago and regretted it after I sold it. But the thing about my collection is there are times where I'll get to the point to where I feel like I'm going to sell off some of my collection, and then I immediately regret it and end up rebuying the items that I sold for a higher price. So I also got All About Eve and Unforgiven. So I really like the Digibooks. And of course I got 10 Commandments. Cartoon Fortress did a really nice unboxing of this on his channel. So definitely check out Cartoon Fortress's channel if you haven't already seen it. So Westworld on HBO. So I have not seen Westworld. I do own the first 2 seasons, but I still haven't seen it. I think I've seen the first 3 episodes back when they first aired. There was a free Showtime weekend or something, or HBO weekend, whatever channel it's on, HBO. And I did watch the first 3 episodes, which I really enjoyed, but I have not seen, I haven't seen anything after that. Now, my oldest son has seen he's kept up on top of Westworld. He really liked season 1. He said season 2 was kind of a letdown, but he is enjoying season 3. So what made you want to start your Blu-ray collections? Well, the collection used to be very small. And like I said before, I was previously purchasing VHS tapes. And then, of course, that was in the 80s, in the early 90s. And then my first son was born in 92. And we started buying the Disney. We started buying the Disney VHS tapes, kind of to build up a collection for my son. And then our second son came in 95. and we started buying the DVDs and then Blu-rays. So as I was buying the Disney Blu-rays and such, I just kind of expanded it out on the movies that I really enjoyed seeing in the theater and started buying those. And then one thing led to another, and now I've got this big, massive collection. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Thanks, Silvershine. That is exactly what it is. So, and I thought it was a really good show. It's I really need to finish watching season 3. I enjoyed it. I really like the horror aspect of it. You know, you don't really see anything like that on TV. Nothing like that since Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I've seen every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Those used to be my shows back in the day. I really enjoyed watching those. Thinking about my collection also, a big TV show and DVD collector. So back in the day, probably in the early 2000s, I started purchasing TV shows on DVD. And that was the massive part of my collection, was the TV shows, which it still is. I still have a lot. I have all of those still, but most of those are boxed up right now. But I love watching TV shows. So JSK, all those posters that you see behind me, I got from the Disney movie rewards. I got those from using my points from my Disney movies that I purchased. Yeah, look at you. So it's nice to have Tom Cruise in our chat with us. Tom Cruise is the one who kind of pressured me to do this tonight, which I'm glad he did. It's nice. I've been wanting to do the live stream for a long time. I was just always thinking that it's going to be really difficult. Plus, I'm awkward. I'll probably say a lot, and plus I do swivel a lot, so I do apologize. Hope you don't get motion sickness. So as far as the digital codes, so I do redeem some digital codes, but mostly what I'll do is to supplement all of the Blu-rays that I buy. I do sell my codes, usually on release day. As you can tell, I do my unboxing video. I never show the digital code in the video. I always pull it out, but I do try to sell those immediately on Blu-ray.com. I do have a forum on Blu-ray.com that I sell the codes on, and usually on a new release, I can get $10 off. I can get $10 for the code, which really helps me supplement all the different copies that I buy. And I appreciate those that some people donate the codes to me, which is very nice. And I am working on saving up some money to get a really nice 4K TV and a 4K Blu-ray player. One of these days I'll have something really nice. As you can tell, I spent a lot of money on all this media, and I have a pretty small 32-inch TV that I watch them on. Yes, so there's a lot of gold back there. The gold keeps getting bigger and bigger. I actually ordered some new gold to come in soon from eBay. Those are my Academy Award slipcovers, which I really like. So when I purchase my movies, okay, so as far as purchasing movies, so there was a time when I would purchase my movies and I would just buy everything. I do try, it's hard to believe sometimes, but I do try to be pretty particular about what I purchase. Either it's a movie that I saw in the theater that I really enjoyed, or it's a classic movie that I buy multiple copies of. So whenever I look over this way, it's because I'm looking at the chat. So top 5 movies would be really difficult for me to select. There are so many good movies out there. I don't really have a top 5. Okay, so give me just 1 second. So let's see. This is what I got from Criterion. I really like this, of course, as you can see. Okay, so this is another question a lot of people ask me, is why I do not open up my Blu-rays. So I do open my Blu-rays sometimes, but most of the times what I've purchased, I've already seen the movie, and I keep them sealed for as long as I can just to keep them protected. I also keep them sealed just in case I need to return some to the store. You know, if Target has a price reduction, I've got, I think, 90 days to go back and get the difference. So I usually leave all my new releases sealed up. But as far as Godzilla, it's still sealed. I've seen several unboxings. Cartoon Fortress, his channel, he does a very nice unboxing of this. But I keep it sealed because I do like to keep my collection as pristine as possible. And I do annoyingly mention these bags that I get. So all of my Blu-rays, especially if there's a nice slipcover or if there is a Steelbook, I put them in these plastic bags, which I have hundreds and hundreds of. But I like to keep my collection as neat and as pristine as possible. I'm kind of OCD about that. So as far as the big TV, so this is down in the basement. Upstairs, we have a big screen TV. It's a 3D TV, 3D Blu-ray player. But most of the time, okay, that's upstairs, and the upstairs where I'm not allowed to go. Now, I am allowed to go upstairs, but upstairs is where the nice TV is. Down here, there's really not as much space, as you can tell, because I've kind of filled it up. So the big TV is upstairs. And it is not, it is a 3D TV. It's probably 8 years old, maybe 8 years old. And we haven't seen a 3D movie in a long time on that TV. Yes, I agree with you, JSK. So let's see what else. Any other questions? So what I would like to do is I would like to do maybe a regular live stream. I would like to figure out how to get other people on my live stream so that we can have more conversation other than in the chat. Cartoon Fortress, I do enjoy collecting different labels. I do enjoy Criterion for the most part. I have a very small Arrow video collection. Pretty much, this right here is my MVD. I have them all out still because I just purchased these. I've almost completed the MVD Rewind collection. I got these from their sale. And Tom Cruise, who is in our chat, told me about MVD video. And so, and about the Rewind collection. And so that's what I got. I really like those. I do like the Warner Archives collection. I just did a video on some new releases that I did from Warner. So Warner Archives is probably one of my favorites because they have some really good catalog titles and just a big catalog of items that I really like. Some of the classic movies, some of the older movies that I really enjoy. I do enjoy older movies from the 70s and 80s because that's when I grew up. And it's more nostalgic for me. That's kind of why I like all the old Disney movies. It's very nostalgic. I remember seeing those in the theater or at the drive-in. Things like Smokey and the Bandit. I remember seeing Jaws, E.T., Back to the Future. I saw all those in the theater. The Breakfast Club, all those good classic movies. So it was nice. So what is my most expensive set and non-set Blu-rays that you have in the collection? I do not know what the most expensive set is. So there was a time when I had some really nice box sets. Ended up selling a lot of those. I do still, I look up above me, I've got some really nice things. Let me stand up, I'll get some of these. I've got this T2 set. The eyes light up. It's one of my favorite sets. Of course, as you can tell, it's never been open. I've got I got a bunch of stuff. Maybe one of these days we can do more with some of my bigger sets. But as far as the most expensive set, nothing really expensive in my collection. I mean, there's some expensive items, but nothing really outrageous. Now, as far as some other crap that I've got in my collection, I call it crap just because, um, as you can tell, there are no Funko Pops in this room anymore. I used to collect Funko Pops, but they did get really out of hand. They kind of took over my collection, and now all of those sit in totes. I've sold my most expensive Funko Pops already on eBay. I would love to sell all of my Funko Pops. I've got some really good ones, some really old ones, some that are worth money still, but there's such a hassle trying to sell those on eBay. Um, so if anybody ever gets interested in wanting to buy some Funko Pops, get with me on Instagram or through Messenger, or however you want to do it, and we can talk. I'd be happy to sell some of those. They just take up too much space. Yes, so Cartoon Fortress. Now, I keep mentioning Cartoon Fortress just because we chat a lot, and he does have some really nice items in his collection. So he has something that I want. He has something that I used to have in my collection. He has the Disney Treasure DVDs, and I used to have the complete set of Disney Treasure DVDs. And for whatever reason, I got in my mind that I should sell them, that they would be on Blu-ray, and that just never happened. But I did sell all of my Disney Treasures. So what Funkos do you have? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Dark Knight, if you will, I'll try to remember to if you'll message me on Instagram, I will send you a link to my collection, because I do have them on Pop Price Guide, where I've got everything cataloged, and you're welcome to look at them there. I'm willing to let the Funko Pops go for whatever the Pop Price Guide price is. I do sell on eBay. I always have things on eBay, and I'm very, very particular about what I get from eBay. So whenever I sell on eBay, I package everything very well. Everything's really nice and protected. So if you buy from me, I'd be very happy. So how much of my collection have I watched so far? So out of all my collection, I probably have seen 90% of what's in my collection. Now, that doesn't mean that I've seen them on Blu-ray. It just means that I either saw them in the theater growing up or whatever. Most of these movies I have seen. You know what? 90% is probably too much. I probably only seen about 75% of the collection. I do have a lot of over on this wall, which let me just turn the camera over that way. I'll let you see this here. Those are my Steelbooks. A lot of those Steelbooks are from the UK, and I have not seen a lot of those. There are some movies on there I have not seen. So another part of my collection are the Steelbooks, and those have kind of gotten out of control also. But I hate to miss out. So I think part of my problem is that whenever I do miss out on a release, I'm always afraid that it's going to go out of print and I'm going to miss it. So I usually just kind of buy up everything. As far as people, some people always comment whenever I do my videos or post pictures on Instagram, why did you buy so many copies of this? You must be rich. I'm not rich. I do live like everybody else. And when I do buy, I buy the store exclusives because I know if I don't get the store exclusive, like on the Target Digibooks or the Best Buy Steelbooks, that if I don't get it, I will regret it later. So I go ahead and just get it whenever it comes out. Any other questions? So I wonder how many people. So we have 9 people watching now, which is nice. I wasn't really expecting very many people, but I do appreciate all of y'all coming in. Um, maybe next time. So my plans for this stream were for me to use my webcam, but the picture quality is really bad. So hopefully I can't see what y'all are seeing. Hopefully the picture quality and the sound quality is not too bad. Favorite Best Picture nominee this year. So Best Picture, I enjoyed Parasite. I know that I know some in this chat did not like Parasite. I enjoyed Parasite and I enjoyed 1917. Um, those were probably actually I enjoyed all the Best Pictures. I saw all of the Best Pictures except for one. I can't remember which one that was, but I saw all the other ones and enjoyed all of them. So they were really good. But I was really surprised by 1917, and also I was very surprised about Parasite. So um, so this is another thing about me. Going to watch a movie, I try not to read anything about it. I don't like to be spoiled. I don't usually read up on anything, and I try not to look at any of the trailers because most of the time the trailers do let some of the plot in, and I don't like to be spoiled. So whenever I went to see Parasite, I had no idea that I was going to be having to read subtitles, and so as soon as I saw the subtitles come up, I was kind of aggravated. But it did not take long at all for me to get comfortable with reading and watching at the same time. So I was really surprised how much I enjoyed Parasite. Yeah, there. As far as store exclusives, I really wish that there would be just more digibooks put out. Not even a store exclusive, just more readily available to have more kind of digibooks. Like I think Warner Brothers was really good at doing the digibooks, and for whatever reason they quit doing those. Now I see a lot of people that are able to find some really good things at Big Lots, at Dollar General, and Dollar Tree. I live in the I live near Atlanta, and you would think that we have stores everywhere, Dollar Trees and Dollar Generals. I can never find anything good at those stores, but I do see some people finding digibooks and different things at their Dollar Trees. So as far as the criterion, I am what I usually okay. So after I go, so everybody thinks I can buy everything. I can't afford everything. But usually, whenever there's a Criterion sale, I usually spend hours and days trying to figure out what I'm going to purchase. And I go to the Criterion website and I read up on the titles. I go to Blu-ray.com. I go to people that I know the movies, and that's how I make my selections. And then anything else that I'm not able to purchase at that time, I just go ahead and put on my wish list, so that the next time that there's a sale, I can just go in and pop those in. So I do use. So a lot of people want to know how I keep up with my collection. I do use DVD Profiler. I bought that many years ago, and it keeps all my collection cataloged. I just go in and type in the barcode, put down the location where I purchased it, and how much I spent. So if I ever want to know how much I spent on a Blu-ray or a Steelbook or whatever, I can just go in there and look to see how much I spent. That way, if it goes on sale, I can repurchase it and then take it back and get the difference. And I also use Blu-ray.com. So Blu-ray.com is another place I go to every day, and I catalog all of my Blu-rays on Blu-ray.com. Evernote. Yeah, I've never. That would probably be nice. Okay, so Evernote, I don't know what that is, but I used to catalog all my Funko Pops in Excel, and I used to do all my Steelbooks in Excel, and then now I just don't worry about it. There's just too many to keep up with. So as far as my Funko Pops, I do catalog those on Pop Price Guide. That way I can share it with people and they can see what I've got. And DVD Profiler, I can actually send a link to that. I can send a link to people with my collection listed, and you can see all the items that I have in my collection. And you might be able to see all my items on Blu-ray.com if you ever go there. The collection worth, I have no idea what my Blu-ray or my Funko Pop collection. My Funko Pop collection is worth I'll tell you. The last time I had looked at my Funko Pop collection, it was worth quite a bit. It'll actually tell me how many I have in my collection. So right now, my Funko Pop collection is worth $24,209, and I have 1,799 Funko Pops. My Blu-ray collection is a different story. It's hard to value the Blu-rays because whenever I use DVD Profiler, it'll actually, I have multiple copies of everything. It kind of messes that up, excuse it, but the Blu-ray collection, movie collection is pretty massive. And I'm willing to let these Funko Pops go if anybody's interested. I have sold some Funko Pops to an individual who unfortunately lives overseas, and it was a fortune to ship that overseas, especially a big old box. But anyways, I like to keep my shipping within the United States if possible, just because it's so massive. And talking about shipping overseas, several years ago, I got scammed by somebody from the UK who told me that they were going to send me Blu-rays, some Steelbooks from Zavvi and from some other UK Steelbooks that I could not find here. And of course, he told me I would. Anyways, I got scammed, and I'm very leery to do that, to trade with anybody. But however, I have found a lot of really nice people that I chat with often, that I trade with. I'm a good person. I'm very happy to help anybody out that I can trust. If they need a slipcover, if they need certain exclusive or whatever, I'm very happy to help people out. It's pretty bad getting scammed, that's for sure. I know that a lot of people have been scammed online, but you do learn a lesson from it. So it won't happen to me again, I hope. Thanks, David. Okay, so any other questions? Have I skipped over anybody? Anything in particular you would like to see from the collection that I can get? I do have a bunch of. I guess we can talk. I don't know I do not know how long y'all want to chat. I don't know what everybody's schedule is. So if there's anything you want to talk about or any questions you want to ask, feel free to ask. I think I probably could have a question for y'all. So, how often, because I'm curious, I don't really know who watches my videos. How often do y'all come to my channel and watch my videos? And what could I do to improve my videos? I know the lighting is not the best in the videos. I am in the basement. There is no natural light, so I have to use some bright lights. So I think sometimes my videos look pretty crappy with the lighting. One of these days, maybe I'll actually spend some money on some professional lights. So if y'all want to, we can talk about. I want to talk about these retro style slip covers that come on these MVD Rewind. So if you look at this slip cover here, to me, you would almost feel like this right here is not even a slip cover. They did a really nice job with this packaging. It looks like just a plastic case, but it's a slip cover. That's kind of what I like mostly about collecting, is some of the unusual slip covers that you can find. I do like to collect some rare slip covers. So if you'll bear with me, I'll just grab some off the shelf over here. So if you look at my collection, over here is where I've got all my exclusive type things. I I do like the lenticular slipcovers. So usually what I'll do is I'll go out and I will buy everything that's in the set so that I don't miss out. But I do like the lenticular slipcovers, the holiday slipcovers, anything that's special and different. So that's usually how I'll get all of my multiple copies of things, is because Warner Brothers, I think Warner Brothers is probably the one that's worst about it, is they'll re-release and re-release and re-release the same movie over and over again every year with a different slipcover, knowing that people like me will go out and buy it. But I kind of like doing that. So the ones below the holiday slipcovers. So every year Target puts out these slipcovers. So this right here is a nice shiny foil-like slipcover that's embossed, and they'll do it for all the same old movies. Elf, The Grinch, they'll do lenticular, but they like to repeat the same thing. But that's their moneymaker, I guess. They don't have to put out anything new. So usually every year I can count on Target to do that. And then those Academy Award gold slips, I really like those too. Now some of those Academy Award slips were only available in Canada, and so every once in a while I'll go on eBay. So on eBay I usually save a certain search phrase, and so every morning I get like a list of 10 different emails with things I've been searching for, and that's usually when I'll find some exclusive slipcovers. Now, another line of movies that I like to get are the Twilight Time movies. Now, the Twilight Time Blu-rays are usually not the best movies in the world, but occasionally they'll have a really good movie that's only available through Twilight Time, and that's usually when I'll get those. But also, you have to pay like $39 for a Blu-ray, and then a couple of years they might give that license up to another company, and then that company could sell it for like $19. Oh, Twilight Time might be going out of business. That does not surprise me at all. I do have some really good titles from Twilight Time. Here's a few of those titles. I like the older movies. This right here is a really good movie. I remember seeing this one in the theater. And Mississippi Burning. Now, I think Mississippi Burning got another release, but I had already bought it from Twilight Time. Now, the thing about Twilight Time is they do go out of print, so that's usually how they'll sucker me into purchasing, is saying that there's only so many left, and then I'll just go online and buy what's left, buy one of what's left, so that I don't miss out on it. So, so 50 releases for the Academy Award slips. So that is unfortunate. I only got 23 of those. There are a lot that I need. And I appreciate Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise did send me a slip for the March of the Penguins, I think is what it's called. So I do appreciate that. I try to remember. So if somebody does me a favor, I really try to do favors back. I don't take. I like to share in the community. And so there are people that I do trust, which is very nice to have. So that's a good question, JSK. So JSK is asking a bunch of serious questions that's hard for me to answer. If I had 10 movies to grab, I would not even know what to. I would not even know what to begin with. Probably some of my Disney movies. Um, Now, the thing about the Disney movies are that you can pretty much get them anywhere, except for the Disney Member Club exclusives. Those are very hard to get unless you want to pay a high price on eBay. So, as far as Disney Movie Club, I do have some that every time I place an order on the Disney Movie Club. Okay, so Disney Movie Club, I usually place an order every single month. This right here is one of their newer releases. And every time I place an order, I can order 3 of these. So I do. I try to get these. I know that I've purchased Disney Movie Club titles for some people that I trust, and it's nice to kind of share in the community because some people don't like the Disney Movie Club. They don't think it's worth it. I've been a member of the Disney Movie Club for several years. I get free shipping. I usually get 60% off. I usually pay for one title full price, which is usually $24.99, and then I get everything else 60% off. So I can, if you stick with the Disney Movie Club, you can, rack up pretty good if you know how to work the club. So Dark Knight, I did not ever get the Pirates of the Caribbean treasure chest. I did. I do remember when that was being sold, and I did watch some unboxings of it, and I never did get it. It just I would like to have it, but I did not get that one. I did get the Lion King drum that they did with all the animated Lion King movies in it, but I ended up selling that. I do have a big Disney Blu-ray collection with the 3D lenticular slip covers and such. So, yeah. Yes, the Warner Brothers triple feature Blu-rays. I do. I think I have all of those. They are on another shelf here in the back of the room. So I do have a lot of those triple features. There were some that were Best Buy exclusives that had 4 features on it. Some really nice slip covers. I do have those with slips. So the foreign releases. So foreign releases, Steelbooks, and one clicks. Okay, so I'm not sure what you mean by one click. I'm not sure what that means. But as far as foreign movies or steelbooks, maybe you're talking about some of the exclusive steelbooks from different places. I usually do not buy the expensive numbered steelbooks. I know Everything Blue recently had a release for Boys in the Hood. They've All their releases have always been steelbooks. I've never bought any of them, and the one time I purchased the Boys in the Hood, thinking I was gonna get a steelbook, it didn't even have a steelbook in it. It was just a 4K release. Cartoon Fortress actually has a unboxing video of that. Really nice set. I'm very happy that I got it, but it would have been really nice to have a steelbook with that one. So Tom Cruise likes to keep me grounded as far as my spending, which he doesn't do a very good job because I usually buy it anyways. But I think Tom Cruise would really like to see my Funko Pop collection go away. He would actually like to see all these posters go away and for me to build up my Blu-ray collection wall. Tom Cruise is not a big fan of my Marvel posters. Okay, so Boys in the Hood, I've actually seen that movie. Most of these movies I've seen. So one movie that I did not see was Tom Cruise and Last Samurai. Never saw the movie. Actually, I owned it, but I never saw it. And he recommended that I watch it. I actually opened it up and watched it and really enjoyed it. So Tom Cruise is really good at movie suggestions. Now, which makes me think about something else. So, do any of y'all use Letterboxd? I do use Letterboxd. Usually, the movies that I watch, I'll go ahead and list on Letterboxd, and you can see what I've watched recently. And my oldest son, he does the same thing. He has a Letterboxd account, and he does that. I I've tried to get some of my family members, my wife. I have two sons to do videos with me because I know how boring I can be, but none of them have any interest in being on camera, which I don't blame them. I like a good popcorn flick. I really enjoyed the Marvel Avenger movies. So, who are my top three favorite directors that are still working in the industry? That is a good question. I don't, that is one of my big problems is I do not do very well with listing top three, five, or 10 people, actors, movies, directors. There are so many good ones out there. So I do not know how to answer that. But you know what? I'll make a note of that, and I will try to do a video on my top. I'll see about doing a top 5 video, my top 5 directors that are currently directing. I do like, of course, Steven Spielberg. I enjoy all of Steven Spielberg's movies. He doesn't do very much lately, but growing up in the 80s, he was a big influence. Yeah, I'm sure there's more. I try not to hate on myself too bad. So what else? Did I miss anybody's comments? There's a toilet paper crisis, Tony. You might want to take those posters out for emergencies. I don't think we'll have any problem with toilet paper. Hopefully. So, talking about toilet paper and all this mess that's going on, hopefully everybody's doing well and feeling well and haven't been sick or around anybody. I know that we have one lady that we work with who has got the virus and she's not doing very well. My wife, like I said, she works for Walmart. She has an older gentleman that works there that has the virus. But fortunately, my wife hasn't gotten sick or anything. It's been over 2 weeks since he was diagnosed. And so she's trying her best to keep from it. But she is the manager of our local Walmart, and it's essential for her to be at work. So unfortunately, she does have to go to work. And Tom Cruise lives in New York area, and there's a lot of people in New York that's affected with it. So anyway, it's terrible. It's terrible that this is going on. I've never seen anything like it. So Cartoon Fortress, he knows who his favorite director. So Cartoon Fortress is really good. He knows his stuff. He is a big Criterion enthusiast, and if you have not checked out Cartoon Fortress's channel, please do so. Yeah, as far as this new decade, 2020, I would have never expected it to be this way. It has ended up pretty bad. Hopefully it'll get better though. Hopefully this will be behind us soon. I know, like I said, I work for the school system. We're not, school's not going to be, as of right now in Georgia, they're not going to open the schools back up until mid-April. And our schools end the third week in May. So I'm really thinking that the kids will not go back to school at all this school year. My favorite Marvel movie, I don't know. I actually like I enjoyed the whole Marvel cinematic universe movies that they did. I enjoyed the first event. I enjoyed the first Iron Man. I enjoyed all of them, but some of them were better than others. I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. I enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, especially the first one. I enjoyed Spider Man Homecoming, and I enjoyed Captain America's Civil War was good. So there's a lot of good ones. My least favorite of the Marvel movies from this cinematic was probably Iron Man 2. It was not my favorite. Yes, Spider Man. I enjoyed Spider Man. I just thought it was. I always enjoyed the Tobey Maguire Spider Man movies because I remember seeing those in the theater back when they were out, and it was a big deal. It was different. We had never seen anything like that. But I definitely enjoyed the Tom Holland Spider Man much better. He just seems to be a better Peter Parker to me. Um, what else? So we could talk about if anybody wants to talk about horror movies. I do enjoy horror movies. I remember seeing Friday the 13th in the theater back when it was released. Really enjoyed that. My mom used to take us to the movies. When we were like 8 years old, she would get us in, and we would see all the Friday the 13th movies, things that were rated R that we weren't supposed to see. She would take us, and we would go see them, or we would go to the drive-in and see them. We used to go to the drive-ins a lot when we were kids. Hereditary, The Witch, yes. So I really enjoyed Hereditary. It was so dark and different, but I really enjoyed it. I think they were really good performances. And then The Witch. So The Witch, I watched it. I was expecting so much more from it, and was kind of let down. I was expecting it to be more scary, but it was different. But it was okay. It was enjoyable. I do have that one in my collection. Um, let's see. That reminds me of some other movies that I've seen um, that were really good. The Village. I think that's what it was called. The Village. Um, I enjoyed that one too, and it was different. So Hereditary. No, I did not like the naked old people on Hereditary. That was probably the worst part. I'm not into watching naked old people for the most part. Um, yeah, my top three favorite horror films. I do like the classics. I would say that. Okay, so change not to change the subject. I did watch The Shining, and I did watch the other one afterwards. What is it called? All of a sudden, I can't think of it. Not The Shining, but the next one, the one that just came out recently. Somebody help me out. Doctor Sleep. Thanks. So Doctor Sleep. I watched The Shining, and then I watched Doctor Sleep. It had been several years since I've seen The Shining, but I did want to watch that one before I saw Doctor Sleep, and I really enjoyed both of them. I think it worked out very well for me to watch the first one and then the second one back to back. It was really nice. So yeah, I like The Shining. Room 237. I do need to see that. I do see that Walmart sells that on a DVD. I do need to check that out. I have seen some. I've been more. So after, okay, another thing that I do is after I watch a movie, I'll go when I get home from the movies. I will go to YouTube and I'll look at people's reviews and reactions, and that's when I start doing all my digging around to figure out things from the movie. I had no idea that The Shining was what some people say that it was. Um, I had no idea that that's how some people viewed The Shining, that Danny was molested by his father. But some people actually believe that. I don't know what everybody believes, but that's pretty disturbing. So foreign horror movies. JSK, I hardly watch zero horror. I hardly watch any foreign films just because of the subtitles. But like I said earlier, me watching Parasite has piqued my interest into where I am interested in purchasing more foreign language films. Some that I could probably get into, especially the horror movies. Yeah. So like whatever the movie was, The Ring was based after. Um, I know that Arrow released that complete set, and it's foreign language, I believe, Japanese maybe. I'm interested in checking that out. The Wailing. I do need to see The Wailing. I'm going to put that on my list because somebody else mentioned The Wailing. That's definitely one that I want to check out. I do I do enjoy people making recommendations for movies that I've never seen or heard of because I know I trust people's opinions. The train the train to Busan, is that how you say it? Train to Busan. I've never seen it. I do have two copies of that, and it is on my to watch list. That is at the top of my watch list. I've got to see that movie. A lot of people talk about how good it is. I've had it in my collection since it got released. I just never have. I just never have had a chance to. I've never had a chance to watch it. I've had a chance to watch it. I just never took the chance to watch it. Sometimes all these movies piled up is a little overwhelming to watch. So if we want to change the subject, I did get this in the mail today. I remember seeing this one in the theater. I have the Twilight Time release, but recently I found out that there are some special features on this release that was not on the Twilight Time, and vice versa. So I added that one to my collection. And I also like the G Kids collection. I try to get all of these with the slipcovers, so I ordered this one and got it in the mail today. I have been pretty bad with ordering movies lately, but I sell plenty of digital codes, and I sell plenty of other things on eBay to help me supplement my purchasing habits. If I could sell more Funko Pops, I would be able to buy more Blu-rays. Comedy horror. So, what are some of my comedy horror movies that I like? Is that what you're asking? So, the DMC lithographs, I do not, but if you'll bear with me for 1 second, I'll reach up here. So, I do not sell them, I collect them. These are all of my DMC lithographs. Yes, so I like to, usually I'll buy the feature title just to get the lithograph, and then I will sell the feature title because I probably already have it in my collection. And Disney Movie Club is not the best in the world for shipping. I'll put this up later. Disney Movie Club is not the best in their shipping. I hate the packaging that they use. I also hate the packaging that Target uses. It's like pressed cardboard, which squeezes the slip covers and usually it damages them. So when I do a Disney Movie Club order, I usually order 15 or more items so that they'll put it in a box, and then I'll just turn around and I'll sell the items that I don't need on eBay. That pressed cardboard is terrible. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Amazon's wonderful. Amazon puts them in a nice envelope. It's not pressed. Bad thing about Amazon is I'll order several movies on Amazon, and they'll ship each one of them separately in a different envelope, which is more apt to be damaged. So House is a comedy horror. So I actually watched House back when it was released in the theater. I believe, or on VHS back in the day. I only saw it once, and to be honest with you, I don't remember it very well. So I do want to check that out again. I would really love to have that whole collection from Arrow Video. Okay, another thing about Arrow Video. Arrow Video has a lot of good titles, but a lot of them are region B. I do not have a region free player. So eventually that's going to be one of my other purchases. So I keep on telling Tom Cruise that I'm saving up for. I usually tell Tom Cruise that I'm saving up for a big screen TV, but if I don't keep from buying all these Blu-rays, then I'm not ever going to have any money for that. I have not pre-ordered the Arrow 16 Candles yet. 16 Candles is probably one of those movies that I have 10 copies of or more. So that would be one of mine that I have a lot of copies of. So I work in the school system. I am not a teacher. I am a tech support person. I've been with our school district for 23 years, and it's a good job. I work year round. I get up every morning about 4:30, go to work, usually get home about 4:30 every day, and then go to bed about 8 or 8:30. So it's a pretty boring life. Now on Tuesdays after work, I'll go to Best Buy and I'll go to Target. Sometimes I'll go to Walmart and do my pickups. I'll rush home, do my unboxing videos, and then it's time to go to bed. Because it usually takes time to record the video, and then it takes time to edit the video, and then upload the video. So it's a big time. So my 4K, so I see all this about 4K stuff. So I have started collecting 4K Blu-rays. I used to have them on the shelf back here. Now I have them in a storage crate because there were just so many of them and I was running out of space. But most of the 4K releases, I have been purchasing those when they go below $15 or if there's a sale. But I like the slipcovers. You know, if any of the manufacturers put a nice new slipcover on something, I'm pretty well going to be purchasing that. I like shiny new things, I guess. My wife, she has things that she buys. Try to get that glare. My wife has her things that she likes to buy. So if I don't bother her with those things, then she doesn't usually bother me with mine, except for the Funko Pops. She really got aggravated about the Funko Pops. Yes, 12-hour work shift is pretty normal for me. People think that since I work for the school system that I get off for the summer. Unfortunately, I work year round. It's busy, busy, busy. We have 117 schools that we cover, and there are 4 of us that take care of the computers for a certain department in the school district. My wife does know about how much. So my wife doesn't really care about what my Funko Pops are worth. She mostly cares about how much money I wasted on buying those. So about the Funko Pops, I started getting those because they were shiny and new, and they were nostalgic. They had characters that that I grew up with, and they were just little bitty things, and they were what, $7 and something a piece, $8 and something a piece. So I thought, oh, I'll just buy one here, I'll buy one there. They have numbers on them. As soon as I figured out that they were part of a series, then if it was number 1, then I had to have number 2, number 3, number 4. It must be an OCD type thing because I like to have all of the numbers, unfortunately. And so I try to get everything that I could. Now, recently, Funko is so oversaturated that they have some exclusives that were online. If I missed out on it, I was really aggravated by it. Instead, it wasn't even fun to collect anymore. It was more aggravating. So I'm just ready to get rid of those Funko Pops. So I do have kids. I have two sons. They're not kids anymore. I have a 28-year-old son and a 25-year-old son. And they do not watch my videos. They hate me. They hate that I do videos. It's embarrassing to them. I definitely have a FOMO. I do have that problem. So one of the things that my sons do get aggravated with is me uploading to YouTube because it messes up their internet streaming or whatever it is that they do. I would throw those Funko Pops if I could. So I told my wife that what we could do is I could probably quit my job, open up a little store in a shop, and have nothing but Funko Pops and movies, and would probably do pretty well for a while. It would be nice to kind of weed out my collection. I would like to get my collection down to a point to where it's not just so overwhelming that there's not so many of them everywhere. If I get rid of those Funko Pops, that would be a big relief. So from what I can tell, we've had about 8 or 9 people in the stream. I really do appreciate y'all taking the time to watch the stream. Hopefully this might be something that I can do often, maybe on a certain night or whatever. What I'll have to do moving forward is have a plan in place to have something to talk about. My main part of having the stream tonight was just to kind of get familiar with it and get more comfortable with it. So I do appreciate y'all taking the time out of your evening to be here. So what we could do is during my streams, I could maybe promote a giveaway, or I do have a lot of duplicates that I could give away. So maybe there could be like a giveaway involved in the streaming. Maybe y'all can just leave me some suggestions of what you think what would work out well on a stream. I would really like to have a stream where we would have more than me talking, and that there would be multiple people. But I just need to figure out how that would work. So the Beanie Babies. So Beanie Babies is something else that we went crazy with. We when the kids were little, we used to go every Saturday and let them pick out a Beanie Baby. So I do have totes and totes and totes and totes of Beanie Babies. I used to collect Happy Meal toys back when they were little. I sold all the Happy Meal toys. I have a big old Pez collection. I've got totes and totes and totes of Pez, which is nice to look at, but very hard to display. I will try to do a weekly stream. What I need to do is I need to do more planning on topics, and probably position everything to where I'm not having to look over to the side at the comments. So I am an old man, and it is hard for me to read what is on the screen. So I have to look at my computer over here on the right-hand side to be able to see that. This right here is my magnifying glass, and I have to use this to read small print. So I keep a magnifying glass at my desk. But yeah, I have a lot of giveaway items that I could do, and maybe digital codes or whatever. Yeah, so instead of tuning in to Hoarders on AMC, you can just tune in to my live stream every week and see what Tony has hoarded for this week. We could so that does bring up another topic. So we could rename my channel something different. So I've been thinking about changing my channel name from ToyKlectrr to something different. So what would be some of your suggestions that would be good for me to change my channel name? My only concern about changing the channel name from ToyKlectrr is that I've been using ToyKlectrr for 8 years. I'm afraid if I change my channel name that people will have a hard time finding my videos. But if they're searching YouTube and they're already subscribed to my channel, then they're not going to see any difference. I would assume that they wouldn't see anything different and that they should be able to find me no matter what my channel name is. So what would be some good channel names for me? I do like the hoarding aspect of it, but that does remind me of Brendan. Brendan that does the hoarding up videos. What's his channel name? Wet Movie One, I think it is. He always says he's hoarding up, but I don't think I ever see him buy anything. So what are some of your YouTube channels that you like to watch? So I usually watch I watch all of Cartoon Fortress's videos, of course. I watch I used to watch the Flick Pick, and I used to watch some other ones. I can't even think of their names all of a sudden. I like to watch Jeremy John's movie reviews after I've seen the movie. I like Jeremy John's. I like some other ones. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Cereal at Midnight is a great channel. So yeah, Cereal at Midnight is a really good channel. I like what he does. I've recently started watching somebody else's channel, and I apologize, I can't remember his name, but I do link his channel in my last video. He is from the UK, and he does a lot of Criterion. He does a lot of Arrow Video, I believe, and some other labels that are really, really good. Indicator. Definitely check his channel out. He's got a really good channel. Elliot Cohen. Yes, Elliot's channel is excellent. I wished I could be calm on camera and actually talk without being so fidgety. Elliot does a really good job of getting his messages across. Plus, another good person that does that is Cartoon Fortress. He's really good at his videos. Okay, so let's see. Chris Stuckman, yes, I watch. So I used to watch a lot of Chris Stuckman. I don't watch Chris Stuckman as much recently. Kind of get aggravated watching his stuff sometimes. So Dry Movie One, that would be a good title since you actually buy it as opposed to Wet Movie One. That's true. So, but I do not want any kind of Wet Movie One or Dry Movie One in my title. I'm thinking, yeah, Stuckman is the worst. So Stuckman thinks he something. Anyway, Stuckman thinks he is something else. I was thinking more of some channel names that I could think of would be something to do with collecting movies. I don't want a channel name with my name in it because I would be mortified to think that people that I work with saw my channel and would see my movies. So I've been very busy going in and reworking all of my any thumbnail for my videos. So I've been doing YouTube for 8 years now. Any thumbnails for my videos, I've changed. Anything that had my face in it, I've changed to something else. I want to get my face off of the thumbnails because I'd be mortified to think that people that I work with would see my videos. Blue Hoarder. That's good. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, though, does it? I was thinking collecting media, collecting something with collecting in the name, something easy to remember. Cartoon Fortress is a great name, but it's already taken. I do like to collect Disney stuff. So there's all kinds of opportunities for me to change the name. Or ToyKlectrr. ToyKlectrr is still good. The only thing about ToyKlectrr is I'm not really collecting toys any longer. But 8 years ago, I was collecting toys. I was collecting all these toys, action figures, and all that. Boards of media, hordes of media, boards of media, something like that. Disc collector, maybe. Those are some really good suggestions. Do y'all see any problem with me just keeping ToyKlectrr as the name, or would that seem weird? But I do not want to be. I do not want to be buying any more toys. Yes, that would be a really good name. Funkos for sale. That's what I could change my title. So with every new subscriber, they get a free Funko Pop. So who would be interested in joining me in a live stream moving forward to where we could have other people talking along with me? So from what I understand, I do I did do a lot of research. There are ways that I can bring other people in on the live stream through OBS. It seems very complicated. Google Hangouts, from what I understand, is going away, so it would be more difficult doing Google Hangouts. So I got to really research that and try to figure out ways to bring other people into my live stream. So out of all the people in the chat right now, if you have a channel, say yes. So if you have a YouTube channel and you're in the chat, say yes, so that I can make sure that I'm subscribed to your channel. I do know that Cartoon Fortress has a channel. Tom Cruise does not have a channel, but he could. Tom Cruise could have his own channel. Just don't get him started on politics, because that could get pretty controversial. But as far as Tom Cruise is concerned, he is very knowledgeable about movies. He's very opinionated, and he will tell you like it is. So he's a good guy. So you can have 10 people on this stream on YouTube. So how in the world would I get other people on this stream? So if you have a YouTube channel, say yes. If you would be interested in being a part of a live stream and having yourself on the live stream, say I would like to be on your live stream, or I'd be happy to be on somebody else's live stream. Another person that I do like to watch is, his name is Aaron. He does a lot of he does pretty much all live streams, and he has a massive collection with a bunch of just anything you can think of he has, and he's got a humongous collection. Aaron, I can't remember what his last name is. Aaron Pintor, I think. Yes, I think Aaron Pintor is his name. He does pretty much all live streams. So you would send them an invite to the live stream. So I would need to figure that out. Yes, Aaron with glasses in Canada. And I do not know what. Yeah, that's Aaron. That's Aaron that I'm talking about. He's very knowledgeable. He's got a massive collection. So so in the near future, we will test out adding people to a live stream on a private stream so that we can get this figured out. I would welcome anybody that would want to join me in a live stream. So I am on YouTube because I enjoy talking to people about movies. I enjoy collecting movies. Doesn't mean that I'm very knowledgeable about the different movies. I know that Cartoon Fortress is very knowledgeable. I know that Tom Cruise is very knowledgeable. So when I do YouTube, it's only to be a part of a community. I'm not on YouTube to make money. I'm not on YouTube to get a big following. Like I said, I've been on YouTube for 8 years, and I only have 4,000 subscribers. So it's not all about having a bunch of subscribers. It's more about having a good community. So I know there's a lot of people that do YouTube just for the notoriety and the money. I do not make very. I do. I have made money on YouTube before. Um, I think every 6 months I get maybe $80. So it's very, very little. Um, so I do not do YouTube for the money. Actually, I probably spend more money because I do YouTube, because I end up buying a bunch of stuff to open up on camera, but I would be buying that stuff anyway. So um, yes, my brother is a. So I do have a twin brother, and he does not do YouTube, but he does have a massive Star Wars collection. I do appreciate y'all being a part of this live stream. I do apologize for the awkward silence from ever so often, because I'm busy trying to look at the chat. I do apologize if I missed anybody's chat messages. I do appreciate the 8 people that pretty well stuck with me through the whole chat. Um, we have been going for an hour and 26 minutes, which is really hard for me to believe. I don't usually talk that long, but I won't keep everybody. So if I do decide to do these streams every week, what would be a good time for everybody? I am in Georgia, Eastern Standard Time. So to me, I thought 9 o'clock would be a good time on Fridays, or we could change it up on different days. I don't want to do the stream if people don't really want to participate, but y'all been really good. I do appreciate y'all's comments. And the next stream I do, I will try my very best to have a good topic to talk about, and we'll go from there. But I don't want to keep everybody. I do appreciate you coming, and we will see you next time. I'll see y'all later.